Hey, Basket Brains, Kirby here, aka Darkwing Disc, and one time I found a broken clock. You could say it was just a waste of time. Alongside of me is the fairway finder himself, Ollie DePina, and Ollie one time was addicted to soap, but it's a really good thing he's clean now. Very special guest is Colin Bryant this week, and Colin one time owned a horse named Mayo. You could say that Mayo neighs. Welcome to episode 65 of the K.O Disc Golf Show. This is the Alakazam episode. Famous players that wear the number 65. We got Gary Zimmerman and Lane Johnson. We got a little double up action here. James Paxton wore 65 for both the Red Sox and the Mariners. Kind of the most notable player to wear both. Ollie, you want to hiss with the Giants?
Yep, we got Bart Oates from 1985 to 1993 being the most accoladed Giant. And then one of the more recent ones, my favorites, Will Beatty from 2009 to 2016.
Nice. Colin, you want to hiss with your team?
Yeah, man. Well, I'm a big Texas Rangers fan. There wasn't like any super noticeable names, but we got Leody Taveras, who won a World Series with us. He's kind of a traitor though because he went to the Mariners. But he wasn't doing too well for us anyway. So there you go, number 65 right there.
Nice, Leody Taveras. Yeah, welcome to the KO Disc Golf Show, the KO Question of the Week that we will all answer at the end of the episode. This is one I thought would be kind of interesting. What is your best/funniest conspiracy theory as to why the Disc Golf Pro Tour is doing drug tests at Worlds? So yeah, just write it in the comment section below. We'll all kind of give our, kind of silliest or best or funniest ones at the end of the episode. Colin, welcome, man. Really happy to have you on the show. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. Yeah, thanks for inviting me on. It's cool to be here, and I'm doing good.
Yeah. Like we said, man, it's really cool. We Ollie and I both run into you a ton out on the course. We see you week in and week out at all these events that we're playing. We're gonna kind of start the episode with just kind of like getting to know you a little bit more. Maybe some of the people that follow the show don't know too much about you, but yeah, we see you out there with your dad, Aaron, all the time, at all the tournaments. Where do you guys live about? You live in Anacortes, right?
Yep, that's right. Yeah, we live in Anacortes here, and we're like, I don't know, I'd say like an hour and a half north of kind of like, I would say more the hub, like Seattle, obviously. So we, our local courses are like, we have a little short course here in Anacortes. It's called Capstany Rotary Park, in the trees. Then I'm like 50 minutes south of Kayak Point, and then we get up to a lot of the events near you guys, and
yeah. Is that that Rotary Park? Is that the one on that little hillside?
That's the one on the little hillside. Yeah, maybe we even played with me and my older brother.
So I remember going out there and playing that with you and your brother. And when I was going out there, your dad on the way goes, "Oh man, Kirby, you'll probably be the highest rated player to ever play that course." And I kind of just like laughed and was like, until Colin just catches up and surpasses, like you were very much on that way at the time. And I remember him saying that and me kind of laughing, being like, yeah, for like a month until Colin catches up with me. Like, damn, bro.
No, for a while though, that was like, I was probably the highest rated player, which back then was like, I don't know, I was probably like 985 or something like that. I don't know, somewhere in there.
Like in the 990s, yeah.
And you were probably like 1,000 then. So that was the highest rated person to step foot on our little course, which was pretty cool because we're playing these all the time. Then we come up to your guys' neck of the woods, and it's just fun to have just the crew come in and play. So
yeah, it's a really it was really fun course. I mean, it's really short, like you were saying, really technical through the woods, and really plays the elevation well. So that's really fun. You're just finished your junior year of high school, is that correct?
Yeah.
Nice. Yep. And you're on the varsity baseball team?
I am. Yeah.
What position do you play?
I play second base. Which we had a really good team this year.
Okay.
We got second in state, which was pretty cool. It's unfortunate to lose in the final game. That we got shut out by a kid throwing like 90. So it was a pretty crazy game, but we had a really fun team this year. And I played second base. And
where are you hitting in the lineup?
Well, I actually wasn't a starter.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's another kid playing in front of me. So I got to play like a few games, and that was cool.
Yeah.
I was more of like, kind of just a role player at times. Like I'd run the bases, come in at the
Sure,
end of the
sure.
game, kind of thing.
Utility guy. Yeah. Next year, you think you're going to be a starter?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I still got to go out there and
Yeah.
work for the spot, but
Sure.
we're this year we had this past year we had 10 seniors on our team, so
Wow.
we were pretty like senior team.
Hmm.
And then this year I think this next year we're gonna have probably like four. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a much different team. But we still have some ballers that are coming up and some guys that were injured that are gonna play. So it's gonna be fun. So
Good. Good for you, man. That's really cool.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely enjoy it. I know you missed a few tournaments, like, because you were like, man, I can only play baseball
yeah,
for a certain amount of years, which is something I definitely support doing. Because that's, going back, I wish, I could wish I could do all of my,
yeah,
like even like gym class in high school, how much
right,
fun gym was back in the day, right? Like Ollie, I'm sure you like are kind of in the same boat where like just like having like semi-organized sports is just like such a fun thing to do, and it's hard as an adult to find like a bunch of people that are like, oh yeah, we're all just gonna like
yeah,
hang out and like play basketball, and like now we're gonna play frisbee, and now we're gonna play
right,
like hoops, or now we're gonna football, and whatever it might be,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So
yeah,
that's awesome, man. Good for you.
yeah.
um So yeah, we were talking about your brother a little bit. Your brother's like a professional mountain biker or something like that, right? Or was a professional mountain biker?
He was. He raced enduro, and he raced pretty hard actually. And he was good. He would get a lot of first place finishes, and we it's funny in our household we're kind of like lately I've been getting second a little bit. He for a long string got second, but then he bumped up to first place.
Mm-hmm.
He's injured himself a lot. Uh,
Um,
so because he would when he does whatever he does, he kind of just like wholeheartedly like fully in. So he injured himself, so like he doesn't race anymore. Um, he's actually like he's moving into like the medical world, so he does like he's an EMT.
Cool.
He does stuff for like search and rescue,
Hmm.
and
He did like a firefighting thing,
yeah,
right? There's like
last
yeah,
summer he fought wildland firefighters for a summer,
yeah,
and
just
so he does some pretty crazy stuff.
yeah,
So
just general badass, really,
yeah, that's
So
cool.
yeah, he's
that
pretty awesome. So I have four siblings. I'm smack dab in the middle. So I have an older sister. She lives in Leavenworth, and she actually guides zipline tours and snowmobile tours. Yeah.
crazy.
And then Caleb, who we were just talking about, he's my older brother, and then I have a younger sister, which she's actually come back from Canada from a missions trip today. So
Wow.
she also races mountain bikes. And then I've got a younger brother, Tobin, who he plays baseball like I do, and he loves owls,
Cool.
How cool.
and then
I love
mommy
that.
and daddy. So yeah, we're pretty busy crew in the summertime, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome, and that's honestly all of that is one of the things that I was talking to somebody this past weekend. I think after round two,
Mm,
and we were talking about you, and just I was kind of mentioning like I personally believe, and I've talked about this for a while, how you're going to be, and you already are, but your potential is so high because you have this great support system around you. Your
yeah,
dad is so supportive at all these tournaments and help and doing all this stuff, and you come
mm,
from a family of people who are successful and people who are
yeah,
like ballers and like really like awesome people, so like it only kind of is going to help you, like if you're going to survive in your family, you know what I mean, and just like strive in that like crazy environment, and like you go to the outside world, it's just going to help you survive even more, kind of thing. So that's so
sure,
awesome, man. That's yeah, like
yeah,
it's been cool to watch you kind of grow up, quote unquote, over the last like few years, of knowing you kind of through your teenage years here. um yeah, it's really, really crazy, man. You are, I mean, out of the local, like Washington, like Western Washington area. I mean, you've got to be our guy.
Yeah.
we
Chandler moved, Carter moved, Axel's gone. Like,
yeah, we still got some ballers though. I mean, obviously, you're still here, so we still got some ballers though. I
yeah,
mean,
I'm gonna keep you honest out there, man. That's for sure. But everybody knows, like you, like I don't know. Like I'm out there just making sure that your skills are sharp, so when the pro tour comes around, you can represent Washington for us the way we all want. So
I
I'm gonna be
appreciate.
out there like trying my best doing my thing, but I mean we all know like you're like the guy of our future for sure. So and we're all not to put any pressure on you or anything, but we're all like so happy for you and that kind of deal. So
I appreciate that. That's awesome.
yeah. All you got anything for Colin?
No, I mean, you kind of hit everything. I love following his baseball season. I kind of one of the way I like to check in. I'll be like, how's that going? So always when I see him, check in there. I played one of my second or third MPO events with Colin. I think it was at Delphi. We played together on a card.
Yeah, I remember.
Um, yeah, and so that was pretty cool. And yeah, so then I've just been seeing you here and there on cards and other things like that. So yeah, I'm super awesome to have you. And everything Kirby said hit on the head with like, we're rooting for you, man. Like, yeah, I definitely, I'm stoked to see you get that USDGC little
Yeah,
bid there
Yeah,
in that post.
congratulations.
Like when I see those, I'm like, dude, that's what's up. That's what I like to see. And that's who I'm gonna be rooting for over there. So.
yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Congratulations about that again for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Ollie, how you doing, man? How's everything going?
I'm good. Just got back from Canada, had work yesterday, and then but it was good. I got to visit my old like high school and my best friends, so stayed up with him in Bellingham during the tournament. So celebrated the 4th up there, saw the fireworks, we barbecued, ate some good food. Literally the best hosting experience I've like ever had. His girlfriend Savina, like, she made like coffee for me every morning and like breakfast and stuff, and I was like, dude, I just like would be in a worse mood. I would be like not doing as well if it wasn't for that. So really
That's all.
thankful for seeing them and having good people in my life around there. And yeah, I'm just enjoying things, trying to figure out a couple of things. Definitely some quirks I'm trying to figure out for some tourneys and stuff like that, but everything's starting to kind of figure itself out. So doing
Good.
well.
Nice. Yeah, I'm just back for yesterday and today. I'm at ECD for yesterday and today, and then I'm heading down to Portland tomorrow morning to start practicing for BSF.
Yeah,
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I'm gonna be car camping for the weekend, so just it's been like a lot of travel between um Raptors Knoll this past weekend and then BSF, and then I think next weekend is South Sound, or the weekend after that is South Sound, so there's a lot of travel down to Olympia. And then the week after that is, I think, Colin, you're playing Ravens Run down at Lucky Mud.
yeah. I'm signed up for that one. I'm not 100% sure on whether I'm gonna go that one. It's just it's a bit of a travel.
Yeah.
We'll see. I haven't played that course, so I
Oh,
was looking on Udis. It looks insane.
it's
So
awesome. It's a really, really fun course, but I will say like the travel is kind of crazy and it is like in the middle of nowhere. You lose service 40 minutes outside of the course and you're just kind of going kind of thing. So
sounds
it's
amazing.
it's
You're
cool, but it's a lot. Yeah.
right. You're
What's
signed
that?
up for that. You're
Yeah,
signed up.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so that's just kind of adding to the travel of this month of July, where it is just kind of, in and out, back and forth a lot. So,
But you're playing the BSF. What layout do you know are you doing for that tournament?
we're doing two different. I think we're doing both the courses, and then it's kind of like an alternate layout. I know they added some new pin positions and stuff like that. Like I was just reading the email this morning that they said, as of last night, they just installed the last of the new pin positions and that. So. I'm excited to get out there and check it out. I think we're playing both like the West and East course though, so I don't
Okay.
think it's like the traditional like 27. Yeah, which I really like, or the whatever the full 18 that they do for Beaver State Fling for the Pro Tour. I
Yeah,
really like that layout. So yeah,
that's still. I mean, gonna be a sweet tournament. That's like, that's a that's a pretty legit A tier there. That's gonna be a pretty solid fill at that one. So that's gonna be. I was hoping to get to that one. It's just so much travel
oh
and
yeah,
and then with Kayak Point too, just being right here, it's like still a good tournament to go to. So
yeah. Yeah, we'll get into the tournament look ahead later, and kind of get a little more into the field and whatnot, but there is some notable things about there. First things first, though, we're gonna do the tournament recap. This is presented by Emerald City Discs. Emerald City Discs, the gem of the Pacific Northwest. Um, all three of us were up at BC Open. This is, up at Raptors Knoll. I've said it countless times. I love Raptors Knoll. One of my favorite courses to play. Just super, super fun. I think the shots are great, super legit. The par fours are super hard. Some of the holes are very fair and fun and easy, but some of them are just total butt kickers. Um, Colin, what do you think about Raptors Knoll? What's your overall kind of impressions of the place?
I really love it. I mean, I think you kind of nailed it with your little recap on the course there. It's just it's a different style of course where like a lot of the par fours aren't like super far distance wise, but they're just awkward shots, and the OB is just placed in spots that kind of makes you think about your upshot or the drive a little bit more, and but the whole course, I mean, it's beautiful. I love coming up there. Like I went and practiced it, and my dad came and practiced with me twice too. And he loves playing it. It's just a fun course to play a tournament on. Because like you said, there's fair shots, and then there's shots that make you think, and you just gotta throw a wide selection of shots on just cool holes. So I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I did think it was funny. Man, I forget what round it was, but before the round, I think like I heard maybe like you and Axel talking about like, oh man, I'm not throwing any mid ranges. I'm only throwing like a bunch of putters and stuff. And I
Yeah.
was laughing to myself because on the way that day, I thought to myself how this tournament is like the mid range classic for me, and how I'm just like comfortably and just like casually throwing my MD1 and my Glacier on like most holes and just like not struggling with them and like that kind of thing. I was just laughing because like
Yeah.
that course really does kind of play to like you could just like rip on a putter, you could power
Yeah.
down to a mid, or you could like if you don't have the arm speed, even go even like higher speed to like a fairway, and
Hmm.
still like all those shots make all the sense in the world for most holes out there, and you can go extra aggressive, you can go kind of safe. So, yeah, I just had a little laugh to myself where I was just
Yeah.
like, I'm not doing it. I
Yeah.
was like, I'm throwing my MD1 all over this freaking place today.
Yeah, that's funny because like I do, it's like I'm either throwing putter or distance driver, like
Hmm.
or 1 9 speed, and that was it. It was, but that's funny that I mean, you throw your mids pretty well, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But
That
it's just
MD1's kind of my new baby. I'm throwing it super, super straight and just filleting fairways with it. So,
that's a good shot.
um, yeah, for sure. This is a little bit of a MPO homecoming for our boy Ollie over here. It was funny last year. He and I were meeting up for a practice round for this tournament, and he was playing MA1 at the time. And I was like, man, like you're gonna have to go and practice like blue tee pads while I'm back here on golds. I was like, we're not even gonna like play a full practice round together. I go, yeah, you should just play MPO. He goes, you know what? I should just play MPO. I go, why not? He goes, yeah, why not? And then just he's been in MPO ever since then, basically.
Okay,
So
that's
it's been pretty awesome. Ollie, what's your 1 year into your MPO tenure here? What are your kind of thoughts and impressions?
I think I had a lot of expectations for this event being like that homecoming, so there is that. I wish there's so many things I wish could have gone a little differently there with that. It's been an amazing year. I think probably like one of the hardest and most humbling years of like competing in this sport. Like, I think it's just been so crazy the people I've got to compete with. Yeah, like I said earlier, like one of the first rounds I played was with you, Colin, where I'm like, okay, yeah, this is just a huge jump from like the people I was playing with.
hmm
And then to even more recently doing the Beat the Pros and playing against like Aaron Gossage and Matt Bell and Ben Calloway, I was like, yeah, it's just a humbling thing where it's been so cool. And so, it's gotten me. I can see a lot more things the things I need to work on, which is exciting. But I could just see like yeah, I'm there's a lot of stuff I need to do still to the like from that year of being an MPO. There's like even there's a ton of work that needs to be done, but exciting work. And I was talking to my dad about it and just saying like no, I'm not getting discouraged by any the play. Things will come. I'm definitely in a slump, and there's some things I'm trying to figure out mentally, physically, and stuff like that. So, um, I think it's bound to happen, and I felt really good that third round, which was good. But I
Good.
don't know. I love BC Open. I love like the course. It's a it's ranked number 50 in the world, which I thought it was pretty sweet. So you're playing like a elite level course there. In 2022, it was ranked like 13th, I want to say, or something like that. I was
Yeah,
looking
it's
at.
like way up there at one point.
So it's a cool course in that sense. And then The biggest takeaway for me from the actual course was the amount of work they did on like the actual ground, like the those divots and stuff they had in the ground last year, all filled in and filled out, where
Oh,
like it looks so much better of a like I don't know everything. I was blown away with that, but
Mhm.
a lot of things to work on. I'm excited for the rest, the back half of this year. I think this year, I don't was it on 4th of July last year, BC Open?
I think it was really close. I think it was the weekend before, actually, because I think it was like on Canada Day last year.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
because I remember there was like some issue about like the border, and then everybody having off that weekend, and like having like a lot of people wanting to come and like casually play the course, and like that was a
I
whole
see. Yeah, yeah,
extra
yeah.
thing kind of deal. And there was like 400 people playing. Um, I will say, Ollie, honestly, man, after just kind of we played round one together at BC Open. I definitely like I see the struggles that you're having. But at the same time, like, there's definitely like glimpses of like there's a very good player here. He's just
Yeah.
kind of going through like the down part of the struggle, but the
Yeah.
upslopes definitely come in. You have the talent and you have the shots. It's just about kind of putting everything kind of together for one consecutive round, and then
Yeah.
holding on to that and keeping it kind of going, forward kind of thing. So you definitely got the stuff. Nobody's ever doubted that for sure. It's just about putting it all together kind of deal. So
Yeah, I
keep
had
grinding,
some
keep it
like
going.
even on some of those batter rounds, I had some shots where I was like, "Oh, that was like a really cool shot." And like
Yeah.
that first on the last round, that first par 5 hole 6,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I threw my Halo Boss down, so I was like kind of cut back, but I was on the flat part of the bottom, but I was like way around the corner. I threw a sidewinder roller, and I got all the way to the start of the tunnel, and that's how I got my. And then kind of in a bush, but like a good Toro upshot from there. But pretty much got like a 5 foot, 8 foot to birdie for that hole, which was really really cool. But that a roller shot, I was like, there's a couple shots I made. I was like, okay, this is cool. This is cool.
Yeah,
That's pretty technical. That's pretty sweet.
that's
But
awesome.
well, yeah, some consistency, putting it together, and just doing it for the long run. I think every will work out. I think I also play a lot better when there's like people like there with me. Like I think just have it. I had my buddy Nolan come up and caddy for me the last day. Roxy surprised me the last day, and I shot
Hmm.
like 12 strokes different from the second day to the third day. So I was like, yeah, I just need to. Someone needs to like either tell me to like shut up, not to do stupid things sometimes, or just like
Hmm.
let me just vent a little bit, and then I can even sometimes saying that idea in my head out loud, I'm like, that's not a good idea. Like I can do
Right.
that myself if I can just have that backboard, because I don't ever want to do that with a person on my card or a competitor, because then it's just like that's so much more work and
Right.
awkwardness, and
Right.
I'm gonna do that myself. So
Yeah.
you were really great that first day. I started so poorly. I really do appreciate you that first day, because then after I took like the first 4 holes, I basically stopped taking a bunch of strokes, because you're like, stop trying to go for things and just play really safe. Like I didn't
Yeah.
get that much practice. I haven't had a practice round, so I needed to kind of hear that. And when you said that, something clicked where I was able to like grab a better disc, think about my shot a
Mhm.
little more, and so things were going better. So I do appreciate you too as well in my corner.
For
But
sure. Yeah,
kind of
I
having
definitely
that
saw the
mentality.
I saw the like aggressiveness on some of them, and I was like, buddy, I was like, do that tomorrow. I was like, get it, like, just stay in the fairway today. I was like, and learn,
Yeah.
where that is. So,
Yeah.
um,
That course bites you so quickly if you're just like, trying to go for stuff. It's like there's just so much OB. And
yeah.
I mean, like, it happened to me a few times where it's like, oh, that was dumb. And now you're taking a bogey or a double bogey.
You're like, I
Yeah.
wish I could just go back like a minute and like
All right.
2 minutes, hit the reset button really quickly. And it was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
uh, would- I would look into that.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, my recap of BC is honestly pretty overall uneventful. I was pretty much just on like third card chase card like the whole week. Um, I did have a funny moment with Chance Stad on the second par five where like I was like 30-ish and I had like a bush in my way, and I go, I haven't really looked at scores. I go, Chance, do I need this? And he looks at me and goes, is that a serious question? I go, if you have a serious answer, it is. And he's like, no. He goes, if you make it, it doesn't really help you. He goes, if you miss it, it really hurts. And I go, I'm gonna run it anyways. He goes, all right, I don't know why you asked. I just like sat back down. So I thought that was pretty funny, and I just appreciate him kind of like humoring me for like that moment of like, I don't really know if I need to run this putt so aggressive or not. Um, I did. It was really funny on the little island hole. The hole after that, I threw a forehand every round, and I threw a PD2. Yeah, PD2 forehand,
No
and people,
way.
dude, everybody every round was like, "That's a PD2," and I'm like, "Yes." And every round, I spiked it next to the pole, and then like ricocheted like within 10 feet of the basket every
Oh,
round, and
playing.
people couldn't believe it. Dude, I'm telling you, if you just flick it out on like flat, it's so overstable, it
Yeah.
spikes into the ground instead of coming like over on it. It worked wonders for me. But it was really funny to see people's reaction of like, "What are you
Yeah.
doing?"
Crazy going 12 speed on that hole.
I
I
know,
was
dude.
same mentality of like, trying to spike it in with forehand. I was going anvil with like a BT soft plastic. And
Sure.
the first two rounds it was fine. And then the last two rounds, the final round, I thought I threw it perfect and then like skipped OB. So I
Dang.
guess I could throw like a 12 speed super overstable distance driver next time.
Yeah, what's the most overstable distance driver in your bag?
The Warhorse, West
The
Side Warhorse.
Warhorse. See, I
Yeah.
mean, I all you would have to do is just like push it out on the left, like flat, and
Yeah.
use like as long as it goes far enough, and then you can even miss by throwing it too far and like
Yeah.
kind of hitting the hillside there, and you're still just like safe for par kind of deal. So I think there's a I don't know. It
I
was
guess
really funny, like playing with Thomas Gilbert and him being like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Hang on."
it worked. Obviously, it worked.
Yeah.
So
Um, I'm currently at 16 straight 1,000 rated rounds.
dang,
So
that's
what's up, Ollie? I saw you had a little thing.
You had another. It was the hole 12, the par four with like the weird hazard in the middle. You did your drive and you're off to the left. You didn't have that much to go, and I
Oh
saw
yeah.
you pull out a PD2 as well. And I was like, and I saw you do it again. I didn't say a thing. I just kind of sat there and laughed and smiled. I was enjoying it inside, but
amazing.
I love that.
Yeah, I did the same thing every day. I went PD2 off the tee, PD2 forehand into the green. And every day I got the birdie on it. But yeah, I mean, it was like 125 feet of forehand. But like, I forehand that and I forehand the drop. And the drop I forehand as like a turnover. And the
Yeah,
PD2 I forehand as like a like flat to hyzer. So it's like, these are my throws. This is what I got.
Yep.
I've been telling people, I'm like, Kirby's turning into a forehand guy.
Yeah. That's right.
PD2 own Scoggins,
Yeah,
high
dude.
speed
Hey,
drivers.
I'm the Owen Scoggins of MPO in Washington State. That's kind of cool. It's like a badge of
God,
honor.
that's some
Yeah.
swag. That's some
I
swag.
wish. I wish I was that good of a putter, man. Damn. But yeah, so I'm at 16 straight 1,000 rated rounds, dating back to the final round of Champions Cup at the beginning of May. So
Dang.
really happy with that streak. I don't put a whole lot of stock into ratings necessarily, but that is kind of just like a fun statistical thing that I definitely am gonna like work hard to keep going kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, ratings did update. I was gonna say all morning ratings have not updated, and it looks like they just finally updated. There's a bunch of people on Facebook that were
Oh,
complaining
Colin
that
Bryant.
they didn't update last night.
Oh,
So
ratings update? I haven't checked that.
Do
What's
you want to
the
know?
yeah?
1022 plus 3.
Let's
Let's
go.
go. That's
hey,
huge. Congratulations.
Yeah,
that's
let's
awesome,
go.
bro. And that BC Open, I don't even think will be on there because I don't think he finished that until like this morning. Yeah, so whatever you did like this past weekend, I think is gonna go towards next month.
Okay, okay. What about you? Did any of you guys go up?
I went up one somehow.
There you go. That's
I,
good.
I was like, okay.
That's
Anything,
Yeah.
yeah, no, anything that's not going down, I'm like, we can't be mad at, you know? It's
yeah,
like,
for sure.
I don't know. I'm excited. I don't know.
Just those. I mean, it's slow progression up is it's the way to go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I stayed at 1,008. That's fine. That's good. I don't mind. And again, BC Open getting put on to next month. That's just gonna make next month's, even better kind of deal. So I
it's
don't
pretty
mind
good.
at all. Colin, let's talk about your weekend, huh, bud? USDGC qualifier, so
Yeah,
awesome. Let's talk about the playoff because you went to
yeah,
a 4-hole playoff with Noah. Was it Higgins?
Yep.
Higgins is his last name. I played with Noah round 2. He's from Alberta. He's a Prodigy sponsored player. Nice kid. I think he's like got to be in his like early 20s, right? He seemed like kind of younger.
I didn't never asked him, but he definitely seemed in like early to mid 20s, somewhere in there. But
Yeah.
he was a baller. I mean that whole like final round, he came out hot, and we both kind of like started off hot at like front 9, and then I went absolutely cold in the back 9, and he just kept slowly getting par birdie here and just ticking away strokes on gaining strokes on us, and then by the end we were tied, and it was pretty crazy stuff at the end. I don't know if you saw what happened on 18.
We were standing to the side, kind of
Okay.
like Axel threw his shot like through me. Like he was like his putter
Oh
that
yeah,
came into the green was
yeah. He
was
said,
head hunting me the whole way, and I was like, oh crap, and then ducked out of the way, and it almost hit. I mean, it was it might have skimmed Tim Tenkley's like his bag that was like
"Oh my
sitting on the
goodness."
ground back there. Like it didn't affect the flight in any way, shape, or form. It was if it touched it, it might have like barely skimmed it, but it was like, oh man,
Yeah, that was crazy. And then like everyone freaked out because it was in bounds. So
yeah.
yeah, no, 18 was crazy because you know Noah hadn't thrown a great drive. I hadn't thrown a great drive either, but I had pushed further, and he chucked his disc out of bounds, and so at that
So
point,
well, let's backtrack a second for everybody here. Where were you guys off the tee? Because hole 18, for those that don't know,
right,
Raptors Knoll is
yeah,
old. The way we're doing it was hole 17 of previous layouts, where it's that uphill par four,
Yeah.
where really you just want to get up like to the rock, if not past, and
yeah.
then kind of down to the basket with OB on your right and left. So where are your guys' drives landing?
Yeah, so Noah, he went first, and he like kind of clipped like those branches on the left, and just kind
Oh,
of just
okay.
left. And he was quite short, and he kind of had those like little trees in his way. And then I threw my drive. I kind of pulled it right and clipped the trees on the right, but it didn't affect it as much. And I probably was, I pushed up the fairway probably like 350 feet. Well, it wasn't bad.
How
Um,
far away from the rock are you?
I was probably like 40 short of the rock.
Okay.
So, but I was like in
Still
line
pretty
with the
far
rock.
out from the pin. Yeah.
Yeah, still pretty far out. Like not ideal for the birdie at all, but certainly not bad. And Noah was up first, and he threw like a big turnover, and it just never came out and went OB. And at that point, the tournament was in my hands. All I had to do was lay out. Like Daddy came up to me. He was caddying for me that day, and he's like, "Hey, you just need to get a par. So just grab your mid range or putter even, and just throw it down there." And get an easy par. And that, I was like, and I measured it. I was 400 feet out from the pin, and that's too simple. Like just like Chip Heiser,
250, 150.
and you win the tournament. And I just kind of freaked out in that moment, and like mentally was just not thinking right. And I'm like, no, I need to throw a driver because I don't. The wind is going to affect like a putter or mid range. And so I pulled out an honor and proceeded to just absolutely like rip on it and grip locked it like way right. I went OB like short of Noah, and and then I had to didn't throw a very good upshot and had to make like a 25-foot putt to push a playoff.
Which was
So that
awesome,
was
by the way.
yeah, that was pretty sweet. But it was that shot has come back to haunt me a little bit. I'm like, no way. Like literally
Yeah.
I could have jump putted. Like it was just like that was a bummer.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, we had a sick playoff.
Yeah.
We went 4 holes. It started on hole 1, which for those who don't know, hole 1 was old hole 18 at Raptors Knoll, which wasn't a bad change. And so we started there, and we both birdied that hole with 2 pretty solid putts. And then hole 2, he piped his drive. So we were just alternating each time who was going first. And I actually threw my drive OB on hole 2. And at that point, I kind of had figured, okay, it's over. And because he was so far up the fairway there. And so I was like,
His drive was like sent.
oh,
I
it
couldn't
was,
believe how far up the fairway he made it. It was crazy.
yeah, just dead center. It was perfect
Like
position.
what, like 70 past the tree to the
Oh,
right
yeah.
up there? Yeah, it was insane.
It was so far. So and then I was close to like 400 out because I went OB early, and so I pulled out like my compass or whatever, and I just ripped it flat and was kind of hoping for like that ground play, and I just slid up and hit the logs, and at that point I'm like, well, it's all I can do now, just try and get par, and then Noah kind of chunked his upshot a little bit and hit like that foam thing on the left, and he
Hmm.
just putted up for par, but I had like a 40-footer that I had to make to push, keep pushing the playoff, and I made that, which was crazy. So it's like, oh my goodness, I'm like, I can't believe we're still alive here. And then hole three, which hole three was a lot harder with that hazard there.
Yes.
I think a lot of people were laying up.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys did,
It
but
actually that I think that hole played easier for me this year because there was no decision to make. Because it
oh
was
really?
just, yeah, just throw it out to the left and then throw another
Yeah,
hyzer into the green, where I was throwing the same disc on the same angle,
yeah,
twice in a row basically.
oh yeah, yeah.
I just want to
And you're
say your drive on hole three during that playoff was one of the most impressive things I saw all weekend.
yeah.
That is that shot there, is that, I guess my question is that special, or is that something that you're like, no, I did that every round of the tournament?
No, that was pretty special. Like for in the tournament, I had basically thrown into the hazard every round. I actually birdied it from the hazard round two. But then
Wow.
round three, I had thrown it into the hazard, but then gotten a really lucky tree kick that like kicked me back into the fairway. So I had really played that like drive bad.
Wow.
And so Axel came up to me like before I threw. He's like, because he had like thrown, we were playing together round three. He had thrown a really good forehand, and he had like a 80-foot, 60-foot putt for eagle, which was like okay. So he's like, just push it straighter than you think, and just push it as straight as you can through the fairway, and you're gonna be perfect. And so I just got up there. I think I had a little bit of like adrenaline cranking, and I just absolutely, I mean, out of my hand, I knew it was perfect. I just got that like snap with the forehand, just held really straight. And some of the guys spotting said it got like a massive, pretty big skip. And I mean, I was like 40 feet out for the putt for eagle there, and
What
that was
disc
my
did you
chance.
throw?
Well, I threw a Rive. Yep, that
Okay.
was like a silver lot. I think like 2023, the 2023 run, Orbit Rive. So it's kind of beat in a little bit. It's honestly it's like kind of my favorite Rive right now. It's just straight
Yeah.
and the perfect
I
forehand.
was gonna
So
say, I
yeah,
mean, like, I was standing with the Tankleys kind of like behind and to the left, so we could see pretty much the entire flight like into the gap. And the way
yeah,
that disc was flying, it was like you threw it like flat to hyzer, and it just never broke that angle the whole way, but was like working. Like the way we were standing, we were like, holy crap, like that's like he might have like aced it. Like
yeah,
just the way we saw it kind of going in, and it was
yeah,
honestly, it was like really just, we thought at that moment we are like, he's about to can this and win the event, and we're all rooting for you so hard too. It was like, it was
yeah.
just the most incredible shot.
It was pretty sweet. So. But yeah, that was that. So I had that to win, for the eagle because Noah had just laid up and he, had like a short putt for birdie, and unfortunately I missed that putt. And then so we were still tied, moved on to hole four, and Noah was up first, and he just piped his drive,
Yeah.
and 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 then I was going like forehand flex there, and I just didn't quite commit to that shot, faded off early right, and had like a 40-footer, uphill putt, which I think I hit cage for,
Yes, which
and
was also crazy.
yeah, yeah. So that was it was tough to let that one go because that was in my hands and I kind of just dropped the ball there on
Mhm.
a few shots. So, but it was a really sick tournament. Kudos to Noah. He killed it that weekend, and
Yeah.
he was a lot of fun to play with. And he just, I mean, he made some really clutch shots, clutch putts down the stretch, and he just slowly but surely did what he needed to do and came out on top. So
Yeah.
kudos to him. He did a good job. So
I think he played that whole three of the playoff really well. Because I was
oh
talking with the Tankleys, like after you threw your shot, and he kind of like went up the fairway and like yelled. He goes, "How far away is he?" Because
right.
everybody knew, we were like, that was incredible, and we saw the green flag, so everyone was like, "Geez," you know. And to
Yep.
hit to Noah's credit, like I think he played that perfectly because he didn't deviate from his plan. He still
Oh
threw the backhand hyzer and then the backhand hyzer, and he basically was like, okay, like it's
yep.
on you to make a 60-footer with OB right behind it and have it be scary kind of deal, you know? So I thought he played that perfectly. I thought that was really really incredible of him as well. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, both of you guys, like, we're all like, you know, me standing with the Tankleys, like there was a bunch of Washington guys all rooting so hard for you. So
Yep. It
it's
was unique because I like the Canadian crowd they were rooting for Noah,
oh
but
yeah.
I saw we had our Washington crew in there and they were in there mixing it up and I was like
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's such a so many supportive people around you. But yeah, we're also proud of you just to get that far, you know, and like you one of the other things that I noticed like about you and something that you're so good at is like you accept like the situation so well, you know, whether you're like winning, whether you're losing, you know, whatever. Like I've seen you in a bunch of really successful positions and I've seen you have some heartbreaking, you know, moments, and you always seem to have a really calm head about you. You always seem to have like a good head on your shoulders. So another reason why I will always personally believe that you're going to go so far in this game is you have the ability to do that and keep that head on your shoulders. So just super impressive.
yeah.
We're gonna go through the winners real quick. Winning MPO, as we mentioned, was Noah Higgins over our boy Colin here. Thomas Gilbert, Scott Withers tying for third. I played with Thomas round 3. One of the nicest guys in disc golf. Easy. Uh, Taylor Kochek won FPO. Daniel Sisson won MP40. Sally West won FP40. David Fielding won MP50. Chris Hartman won MP60. And Ted Mowens won MP65. Congratulations to all the winners there. We're going to jet through the Jet City Scramble right here, real quick. Winning, this was happening at SeaTac, ran by us here at Emerald City Discs. Winning MPO was Herman Rodriguez, beating out Ricky Meadows in a playoff. Rick Kapalko won MP60. Josh Resnick won MA1. Adam Croft won MA40. Billy Forrester won MA2. Clint Olson won MA3. And Brandon Clark won MA4. So congratulations to all the winners there, picking up a nice little C tier win. Not too bad. All right, weather look ahead. I didn't have this prep, so I gotta Google it real quick. Weather forecast for Seattle. This is presented by Swamp Cow Kava Bar. Shut up and drink it.
Shut up and drink it.
All right, looking at the weather for the next 10 days. Oh, it's gonna be hot the next week or so, dude, up here in Seattle. Real mild chance of rain. We're looking at like 4 or 5%, 6%, you know, tops. Mostly sunny every day. We're looking high 80s to low 80s every day for the next like week or so. So it's gonna be toasty. It's gonna be real hot here in Seattle. It's gonna be a tough weekend up at Kayak for you guys. I mean, definitely make sure
It
to.
says 73 high on Friday and a 73 high on Sunday, so and a 71 high on Saturday. So should be pretty chill. That blue course is going to be on the hotter days, going to be nice and shaded, so should be able to do that and not too bad honestly. Not the 90-degree kayak point that has been in the past. So excited for that.
Yeah, there's been
So that,
some weekends in the past that have been absolutely brutal out there.
yeah, for sure. So, but we'll be in the morning too, so I bet it'll be like
Yeah.
4 or 5 degrees cooler.
Yeah,
So
it's going to be like 66,
it'll
68.
it'll be pretty nice.
Wow. I got 90 degrees, 89, 92 for Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Portland.
In Seattle or in Portland?
Portland.
Oh.
Yeah, Portland's gonna suck.
How
I
fun
might end
was
up getting
that?
I might end up getting a hotel for the weekend. I'm supposed to
Yeah.
car camp, but F that, dude. That
Oh,
sounds
No.
That's
terrible.
gonna be warm.
Yeah, I
That
don't
is
know
going to
about
be
that.
warm.
A shower would be nice.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking not dying in the car, you know, not waking up in a puddle of sweat, being like, "What time is it?" So, all right, I might have to rethink my travel plans a little bit. Damn.
You got
See,
the
this is good that we do the weather look ahead. What was that, Colin?
I said you got the river right there at
That's true.
The Milo
Oh,
course.
yeah.
You
Just
cool off in there.
yeah, hang out in the Clackamas for the rest of the week. Yeah. All right. Are we ready for the best 90 seconds of our week? We got the 90-second breakdown by Ollie, presented by Above Ground Level Discs. Ollie, are you ready, bro?
Yeah, as ready as
All
I'll ever
right.
be.
All right, we're gonna hit you. 3, 2, 1, go.
BCS Open in Norway. Starting off with the FPO, Eva leaning on her drive and took down another big W despite not the most solid putting performance. But have you seen her yet? Annika says no to the dark side and uses the force to get second place finish. Kristen was falling down the ladder, shooting a +2 in the final round to fall to second. And basically wraps up the FPO side of things. In the MPO, nothing like a Hammis and cheese sandwich to celebrate another win for Adam Hammis. What a finish! Milo Hamalama Ding Dong coming in second. Big fan of Double D's around here. Daniel Davidson's finishes in third. KJ,
USA.
KJ,
USA.
Kevin Jones with a statement. T3, how do you throw a hyzer? You tip it a ton, as Sullivan tips it to third place. Lauren Lightning lifts his spirit to get to a tied 3. And Jesse's game. Jesse's game. Coming in third place at here in Norway, but solid. Gannon Burrs, is it cold here all of a sudden? Because Gannon threw a cold final round to also tie third after being in second.
That was really clean, dude.
Oh, good
Really
job.
clean.
That was great.
Yeah, proud of you, bro. That was awesome. Best one yet, maybe. Let us know in the comments. But that was great.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, that was good.
that was awesome. All right, moving
I get a little out of
right
breath.
into whirlwind. I need a cigarette afterwards. My goodness. All right, we're gonna answer the KO question of the week. What is your best/funniest conspiracy theory as to why the DGPT is doing drug tests at Worlds? Colin, what you got, bud?
Oh man. That's a hard one. I was trying to think about this one like last night 'cause you guys had mentioned it, and I just wasn't coming up with much stuff. It is unique that they're I don't know if this is like something that Europe or is kind of implementing because it's in Finland this year, or what? Because I mean, they've never done this at a pro tour event this year.
Never done this
at any years,
disc golf. No, never.
And
So
I don't really have anything like that creative or funny. I mean, I guess honestly, to be totally honest, I'm not totally against it because I mean, this is a professional sport.
sure.
It's like I don't think if you're doing drugs or whatever, and it's helping you play better. I don't think this is a professional sport, so it should be tested.
Yeah.
I'm not totally against it, to be honest. So.
No.
Yeah. I think it's because Ezra Aderhold's just too dang big.
That was mine.
I think he's too big. He's too big.
The Finns took one look at Aderhold and they said, "No way."
Disc golf world after they saw him win his tournament and just
exactly. They were like, we cannot have him win they need a Finnish champion. That's my other conspiracy.
I mean, Ezra's awesome. Which, by the way, I mean, this is going off subject. That was pretty sick to watch him.
Oh yeah, that big win.
Oh yeah, another awesome guy for sure. All right, let's get right into comment below what you think is the funniest conspiracy theory as to why disc golf pro tour is doing drug testing. I've heard some funny ones like they want to ensure that there's like a European champion for the European Championship, which is like crazy because it's like there's no way like Gannon Burr's doing any drugs or anything like that. Like he's Isaac Robinson, right?
Gannon Burr taking like steroids or something like that. You can't play.
Yeah, absolutely not, dude. Hilarious. Somebody's gonna be like slipping him something just to make sure he can't play. That's gonna be the whole thing.
They're gonna,
all right.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be bad.
let's get right into the draft this week. Gonna be a little different style draft. This draft is gonna be something that I sent Ollie on Instagram that we found. It is we're gonna draft liquids that are gonna be dispensed out of our fingers endlessly. So basically, a liquid that can come out of each one of your fingers really doesn't matter what finger, is kind of superfluous, but basically it comes out of each finger and you have an endless amount of that liquid. So I'm going to take the number one overall pick, and my number one overall pick I think is the most obvious one: gasoline. Endless gasoline, gas is super expensive. The amount of driving I do, and that kind of thing, save a ton of money. So gasoline's my number one overall pick.
Good pick.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Ollie,
It's
what
on
you
my
got for
list.
number
It's up
two?
there. If you let it drop to me, I was gonna take it too. I wasn't sure if Colin was gonna take it 3 or 4 because I don't know how much you drive, Colin. So I wasn't sure if how much you're having to pay for gas if it
I've
would have
started
popped up.
obviously driving a lot more, so like
Yeah.
I definitely like gas is certainly on there.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if I might have been able to get it at number 5, but of course, number 1. But my number 1 pick, I'm a little stickler. I need a cup of coffee in the morning. We're just gonna go with some
Oh my
coffee.
goodness,
A
that
little coffee,
caffeine.
little
Sure.
caffeine on the thumb. That's it. That's my only caffeine pick.
Well, my number one pick, I can't believe this wasn't chosen first. I
Water.
mean, water. Come on. Like, water, like, it's just like one of those necessities that you need in life. So,
It's true.
Sure.
If you were stuck on in a desert, you'd probably want water on your face.
I mean, for sure, water. So, and then I get the next pick. So,
Yeah.
gas would have been one of my options, but we wisely took that one. Honestly, I'd go with oil because, you still, everything kind of needs oil. You can just make a fortune from that. You just have like an,
You saying like
indefinite
motor
supply
oil?
of oil at your finger. You're just like, oh yeah, I just got like an oil well just right here, and you just make it.
Sure. So like motor oil, right?
Yeah, just oil, like motor, like you use for your.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to clarify, like
what
motor
you want
oil, because like, so I guess I want to clarify because like cooking oil is still technically on the board, right?
Oh yeah,
vegetable oil.
he's getting vegetable oil. He's getting vegetable oil.
That's
vegetable oil, not olive oil, or
Yeah. Okay.
not
Motor oil.
not that kind of oil.
All right. Yeah. Because maybe I do want. Yeah. All right. I want to keep my options open. Who knows where this draft is going to go later? All right.
That's right.
Ollie, what you got?
Dude,
You literally picked
I
oil
did
and
not
water,
pick
the
all
two
these
things
picks.
that don't mix. You literally picked oil and water together. That's hilarious.
For my next liquid, we're gonna go with probably something I enjoy in the morning as well. I'm a big morning drinker, I guess. Orange juice.
Okay.
Orange juice and coffee. That's all I need to get going with my breakfast. I'm good.
There you go.
Sure.
There you go. Kirby.
All right. So for my
What do you
next
got?
pick, the white trash in me is just gonna come out so hard, but we're going not a sponsor, but Mountain Dew. Dude, I got a Mountain Dew, just a little Mountain Dew off the tap. Heck yeah, dude. And go original, like if this is Lifetime, so we can't be messing with no flavors or anything. Just go straight like reggae Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Hole 14, need a little pick me up. You just go.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's exactly it. You see, this guy knows exactly what I'm talking
Need some
about.
more sugar. Need some more sugar.
Yeah. And then, so for my next pick, and this is maybe, just because of like recency bias and it's because recently on my mind, but my wife and I, to combat the hot season, we just bought one of those slushy makers that you just like pour liquid into the top and it spins it around and it turns it into slushy. So we're drinking a ton of lemonade right now because lemonade makes the best slushies. So I would want lemonade as one of my other picks. So a little lemonade off the tap there.
That's good. I like it.
Ooh.
All right, Colin, you got 2 in a row here.
That's me. It's me.
That's Ollie. That's Ollie.
Oh, it's Ollie? I missed.
I'm trying to
Yeah,
think.
sorry.
I think I'm gonna have to go with. We're just gonna have to grab it. Make a lot of money with it too. The Pilsner beer.
Hey,
Open
yeah.
up a bar, boom. You know, the tap's right here. You know, come get served from your boy.
There
Do you
go.
have a specific Pilsner?
That was
Yeah, I would go with the Frem Pilsner or Pilsner Urkel. That's a good Czech Pilsner. Pilsner Urkel.
that was my thought
Urkel?
on like that's why I went oil. I mean, it's
Yeah, money man. Money man.
Yeah.
just you gotta have your money.
Kirby's got a whole lemonade stand going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Colin, you a big Pilsner fan?
What?
Colin, you a big Pilsner fan?
I don't even. No.
That was the appropriate answer. Good job.
I don't really know what's new. You guys, I'm a big fan of coconut water. You guys
Oh,
Okay.
that's a good pick. Good pick. I love coconut water.
I'm doing
Very
coconut
refreshing.
water as my third pick. Get that like good hydration. I mean,
Yeah,
Sure.
I did swimming. So I was big into coconut water.
in fact, I actually when I won Junior Worlds, my grandparents they introduced like coconut water because they drink it all the time, and they came with me to that tournament. And before every round, every morning, I was drinking coconut water, and it kind of just, I guess, was the right stuff. And I,
Okay.
down that tournament. So that's some special water right there, coconut water.
Nice.
So, looks like I have a next pick. Oh, this is tough.
It's getting hard. I feel like it was hard there's a lot to go.
Yeah, there's so many liquids. It's like, oh my goodness. I was thinking about like, what would be like a cool, kind of like superpower, like acid or something like that. You could just like have it in your hand and just like absolutely
dangerous guy right here.
dangerous.
Yeah,
I don't know.
What if you accidentally are going for your coconut water and you get hit with the acid?
Yeah. You're like, oh, I need to put I'm really thirsty. Oh God, no!
That was the wrong one. I really love smoothies. I'm a big smoothie guy. Those like naked drinks you get at like Safeway or something like that.
Yeah.
I like the there's like some mango one. I'd probably choose that one. Like
My wife,
one of those naked.
My wife's favorite smoothie, my wife's favorite drink is that Mighty Mango naked smoothie.
Yeah,
That's a good
Mighty
pick, dude.
Mango.
Yeah.
That stuff is so good.
Yeah, it's really, really
That
nice.
goes back to me.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to appease the sweet tooth in me. Some Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We got the chocolate water, chocolate. If that was liquid in the movie, I'm taking it. Liquid chocolate.
Oh my
Chocolate
goodness! Milk. What?
Give me a chocolate fountain out of my finger.
Oh, you want like drinking
chocolate?
Oh
no, I want like liquid. Like you could, get your. I'll just go over my strawberry little like.
Yeah. Like drinking chocolate.
Hot chocolate.
Basically. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, straight up hot chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty. That's a good choice.
That's not bad. All right. I got 2 in a row here to finish them off. I'm gonna go with another soda that I like to drink. This is my favorite soda overall. Vanilla Coke. I specifically like the vanilla version of Coke more than just regular Coke. Get out of here with Pepsi in general. I don't even want to. If I go to a restaurant and I say I want a Coke and they're like, "Is Pepsi okay?" It's not okay, actually. I have a huge issue with that.
Not okay.
So, yeah, Coke over Pepsi, easy, and vanilla Coke over regular Coke.
I've never had vanilla Coke. I wonder what it's like.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's like, it is a little sweeter, but it definitely just has this like, I don't know. It's really, really nice. And then my last pick is going to be actually this specific flavor of Gatorade. I really like this new one, this Lightning Blast. I don't know if it's like peach or something like that, or some kind of mystery flavor, but yeah, that's going to be my last one.
I'm going to get pretty practical here. I have a couple honorable mentions maybe, but as my last pick, we're going to go with milk.
That's a good choice.
Whoa!
Okay. I
got milk.
The last pick here. Does
your finger turn into an udder?
Yes, you got to milk it.
Yeah.
Just gotta like squeeze it here.
It's my pinky. It's my pinky too. I guess it would be a better thumb. That'd be a better thumb.
Yeah, you mix that in the chocolate. You got yourself chocolate milk.
Chocolate. Yeah, now I got chocolate milk. Yes. I cooked with this one. This might be my best draft ever.
Dude, that is pretty good round. Man,
man.
Last pick. let's see here. I got water, oil, coconut water, and like one of those Mighty Mango drinks. So I got one more. Man, I'm trying to think of like some, real practical, something that's like kind of amazing, but nothing's coming to mind. I mean, the only thing that comes to mind is chocolate milk. So I'm a big fan of
I did not take chocolate milk, technically.
So
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go with chocolate milk.
All
So
right.
those are the
I like
pick
that.
things. So
Sure. All right. To recap
Little
real
rundown.
quick, Colin drafted water, motor oil. He drafted coconut water, Mighty Mango, Naked Smoothie, and chocolate milk. Ollie drafted coffee, orange juice, Urkel Pilsner, drinking chocolate, and milk. And then I drafted gasoline, Mountain Dew, lemonade, vanilla Coke, and Lightning Blast Gatorade. Honestly, I feel like I kind of cooked in this one. Like I got like I'm set. I'm no
I
longer
think
grocery shopping.
Yeah, you're kind of good.
your choice of gasoline at first is like that's kind of a big one.
Yeah, that
You're
was
just
a
driving
big
down the
one.
road, you just run out of gas, you go there and just
Hey,
finger
don't
it.
talk to me unless I've had my coffee. That's all I gotta say.
That's fair. Honestly, I feel
So
like at that point, like I might set up my own like lemonade and gasoline stand, and it's just me like sitting in
yeah,
a lawn chair,
yeah.
just like hanging out, And I'm just like, like, oh yeah, yeah. Which one do you need? Tell me.
I got you.
Episode 65. That was the draft. Colin, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to come on here and talk with us. Always rooting for you. One of our guys, so it's always a pleasure to see you. Always excited to see you. I always love seeing your dad. I always go up to him mid round. I don't care. I'm gonna go up and give him a little fist bump and stuff. So
He's pretty amazing. He loves that stuff too. So
yeah,
He's the
definitely
best.
will keep that up. And really do appreciate you coming on here.
I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on. It's been pretty fun. So thank you.
Yeah. So and we got episode 65. A little quote. I wouldn't say I'm a ball hog. I'm a shooter. Kobe Bryant. Aim high, shoot low, and we will see you next week. Peace.